I'm Al Woods of Woods Recruiting. What is the college recruiting process? What is it? What is the college recruiting process is the question. College recruiting process is a whole lot of things. Think of it as a jigsaw puzzle with 10,000 pieces in the box. You dump that box of puzzle pieces on the dining room table, and you go about the process of putting it together. Each piece of the puzzle is a component in the recruiting process. A lot of the pieces could be individual games that a student athlete would play in a regular season. Other pieces could be their club season, travel season team. They play on a travel team. Those pieces could be games. Each piece could be a class that you take in high school to help you towards graduation. Another piece of the puzzle could be the times that you need to take the SAT or the ACT. Or these other pieces could be when you get your report card and they have your marking period of your grades and what you've done. And another piece could be your GPA, what you scored. Another piece could be the times you met with the guidance counselor. Another piece could be registering for the NCAA clearinghouse. Another piece could be, or pieces could be you selecting the college programs you wish to target. So that puzzle has a lot of components to it, and there's still a lot more. You know, your freshman year, what kind of classes are you going to take? What are you going to do as a freshman in high school? A lot of student athletes, they struggle with making that transition from middle school, 8th grade to 9th grade. It's a whole different ballgame, and they struggle. That's a piece of the puzzle. Your coach or coaches, head coach, assistant coach, your club coaches, those are pieces of the recruiting process. So there are a lot of pieces in this process. Recruiting is not what it used to be. It used to be where a student athlete who had talent would sit back and wait for someone to discover them. Or they would sit back and wait for their high school coach to contact college coaches because you thought that the high school coach had connections of some sort or some kind. The old way of recruiting required those kind of strategies, and those strategies are old, are broken, they don't work any longer, they're useless, they're a waste of time. And this is why many student athletes end up not getting recruited to the appropriate college program, or they slip through the cracks of the recruiting process. They go under-recruited, unrecognized, unnoticed in the recruiting process because they don't understand what the recruiting process is. Times have changed. It used to be you would get your film on a DVD and you would mail it to coaches. That's out. Now is all these different services that are online and you can put your video, and that's the way to do it now. So recruiting has changed. High school coaches, they don't have any time to focus on recruiting, no more so than the parent or the student athlete. Most high school coaches are teachers. At the end of the day, they're looking to go home. At the end of the day, and the end of practice, they're looking to get in their car and go home and call it a day. They're not interested in or interested in putting another 2 or 3 hours on top of their day to put towards recruiting. I mean, that's what we're asking them to do. So those strategies no longer work. It's not going to work. It's not that the high school coach can't do it. It's just a matter of will they do it? They just don't have the time to do it. You're talking about adding an extra 20 hours possibly a week on their already long day anyway. They're at school. Most coaches or teachers, and they're at school when it's still barely daylight. You know, the sun is still rising by the time they've arrived at school for the day. Or when they get up in the morning, it's still pitch black dark. When they call it a day in the evening, it's dark. So now you're asking them to work till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night to put towards the recruiting. A lot of high school coaches are not going to do it. And so student athletes now are relying on club ball to get recruited. That doesn't always work. They're relying on going to tournaments and camps. That doesn't always do it. So there's a lot of pieces to the recruiting process, a lot of puzzles, a lot of puzzle pieces. There sometimes are confusing, and many families, they don't know how to put that puzzle together. And another problem, it's going to take a long time to put a puzzle of recruiting together. You may lose some pieces, you may forget some pieces, you may not want to work on it consistently, and now you're falling behind in the process. So there's a lot that goes into the recruiting process. So I want you to think about that for a moment. Think about it. And if you need some help, contact woodsrecruiting.com. We can help you, guide you step by step through the college recruiting process. I'm Al Woods. Thank you so much.